Gentleman's
Thank you,
time
Judge.
has expired. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. I think this discussion has brought out something that Border Patrol officers told me when I toured the border in the Yuma sector recently. Don't send us more money, they said. They'll only use it to process illegals faster into this country. And I think that the testimony has been bringing that out very clearly today. Since Joe Biden canceled the Remain in Mexico policy and ordered ICE not to enforce court-ordered deportations and abandoned the border wall and signaled to the world that America's borders no longer mattered, we've seen 1.7 million illegal aliens deliberately admitted into this country, and another 1.2 million known gotaways have entered while the Border Patrol's been overwhelmed changing diapers and taking names. Now that is an illegal alien population of 2.9 million. That is the entire population of the state of Mississippi, just since this administration changed these policies and precipitated this crisis. And as the Democrats' witness testified, illegal aliens are now being rapidly and efficiently trafficked by our government to every community in our nation. What the Democrats have never explained is how our schools are made better by packing classrooms with non-English speaking students, how our hospitals are made more accessible by flooding emergency rooms with illegals demanding care, how our social safety net is strengthened by adding millions of impoverished and dependent individuals to systems that are already strained to the breaking point, how our neighborhoods are made safer by introducing violent cartels into our communities and making it impossible to deport criminal illegal aliens, how our nation's made safer as known terrorists are encountered entering our country in record numbers, how our children are made more secure with fentanyl pouring across our border, or how working families are helped by flooding the labor market with cheap illegal labor. This is the nightmare that the Democrats have unleashed upon our country. I asked the same group of Border Patrol agents in Yuma, what laws could we write that would help them? And they said unanimously, the first thing we need to do is enforce our existing laws. This administration clearly doesn't intend to do so, and the laws that we'll write in the House, I'm afraid, are not going to survive the Democratic Senate or get Joe Biden's signature, so this situation is going to continue to escalate and continue to worsen. It's already being felt intensely in our major cities and rural communities. New York City taxpayers are paying for luxury accommodations to house this flood of illegal aliens there. Fentanyl trafficked across the southwest border killed 71,000 people in America last year alone. In Tulare County, California, a cartel just viciously executed 6 innocent victims. I believe this country is going to soon awaken to a coordinated terrorist attack by elements that have entered through our porous border or with violent cartel wars erupting on our own streets. Our witnesses today tell the story of what their lives are now like in the border communities. But of course, these illegal aliens don't stay in the border communities. They are being trafficked to every community in America. So I'd like to ask Sheriff Daniels what he believes our communities should expect as this mass illegal migration makes its way from his community to ours.
Thank you, Congressman. Let me start off by saying this. I know we're hitting on immigration, and I'm here on border security, but I will say this. You made a comment that they don't stay in our border communities. There is one instance they do stay in our border communities. That's when they die. Over the last 2 years, we have over 1,000 migrants touch U.S. soil coming across our border illegally that have died, that sheriffs, the 31 sheriffs on the border have had to process as homicides until proven otherwise. That's 1,000 migrants under inhumane conditions, smuggled by the criminal cartels that we've left in our border communities and left families in Mexico mourning. So there is a consequence to this open border. Second of all, these sheriffs, these police chiefs, these communities are doing the impact, and I've heard it from Democrats, I've heard it from Republicans. I'll say this to y'all, I didn't drive out here or come out here 2,000 miles with a political agenda. I came out here with a public safety agenda, and that is to protect all people. But you gotta do that by starting with border security. That's where it starts. Then we gotta look at our immigration laws, and I agree with you, Congressman. We have the laws to address it. Legal, and I'll say that. They can come to any port. I can promise you, my 2 international ports in my county, they don't come there. The only time we saw asylum claims on our 2 port of entries was when the cartels were having an internal rift and shot over 40 people we watched it happen from our international line in my county. We had cartel members claiming credible fear that were allowed in our country, that just executed somebody and then come in and claim credible fear because the other side was trying to kill them. So we have a problem on our border. We truly do, but we need you all's help. You all's help to do it, to fix it. Thank you.
My time's expired. The gentleman